in that wrap-up
Yeah,
show.
I just heard a little bit about Stuttering John. I was like, how did that become the topic of discussion?
There were a lot of different discussions.
I'm actually curious to hear your opinion on the discussion.
Well, Ralph came to me yesterday and said, did you hear the wrap-up show? Ralph came over to work, if you want to call it work. Anyway, Ralph came over to my apartment. He says, did you hear the wrap-up show? I said, no, I only heard a few minutes. He goes, Artie and I got into this thing about Stuttering John. I said, all right, so what's the controversy? He said that, Ralph felt that Stuttering John handled himself horribly and that I let him off the hook. Mm-hmm. And I said, I disagree with you.
With the whole Leno thing.
With the Leno thing. And I said to Ralph, you're absolutely out of line. He goes, well, how so? I go, John did nothing wrong. I said, in the Leno situation, John was offered a job. I understand why he kept it quiet. Some people, when you're offered a job, you don't always go running to your boss to say, I was offered a job. He was probably afraid if I found out, maybe I'd, fuck it up for him in some way. Maybe I'd call Jay. Whatever was going through his head, he kept it quiet. It was a big payday for him, a cush job. It was a great opportunity.
And to me, it was John assessing a life situation where,
yes.
look, this is a major opportunity, especially for someone like him.
That's right. And Jay Leno said, keep it quiet. And he wasn't going to fuck up his opportunity on The Tonight Show. And
that's
don't
the
forget,
other big part. Leno sort of, according to what John, I think John had the inclination to tell you, but Leno was like, keep it quiet. That's what I heard.
And Leno, yes, you absolutely heard right. And Leno was even kind of filling John's head, or John was filling his own head with dreams of being the next Ed McMahon. He was going to be this big player on The Tonight Show. So, look, for a guy like John, this was a big deal. I had no problem with that. The problem I had was with Jay Leno. Jay Leno has a huge history of stealing everything from this show and then looking me and going, you know Howard, he thinks everybody steals everything from him. Jay Leno has, Ross the intern going on the red carpet and asking celebrity questions.
John questions.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And then let's not stop there. I mean, the walking Jay asking, the dumb questions and the whole, I mean, it is such a fucking rip of this show. And then to make matters worse, he takes one of my guys, a key guy like Stuttering John, who is very identifiable. And fine, you want to offer him a job? I would never stand in John's way. But for Jay, and I'm a friend of his, and I'm a friend of his show, and I go on, he just fucking does it behind my back in a sneaky little way. Then when I call him on, it says, you know what, you don't pay him that well. I can take care of it. I go, get the fuck out of here, you asshole. Does that mean we're not friends? I go, no, dude, you just don't do things like that. And by the way, Jay's the biggest fucking hypocrite because when Rosie O'Donnell took a few people from his staff, not even on-air staff, he blew a fucking gasket because she didn't ask.
Well, so my whole point was John was put in a very awkward situation, and it's Leno's job to call you at that point.
And you know what? I even was pissed because it made it seem like I'm some crying bitch who, sitting pining away for John. I don't care if John leaves. I don't care if anybody fucking leaves. Sure, I miss him. I get attached to people. Everybody here contributes, and their contributions are huge. But what the fuck? Jay Leno doesn't give me a call and say, look, here's something I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of taking one of the key people from your show. Did we replace John? Do I think we got better guys now? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that Sal and Richard, taking John's salary and giving it to Sal and Richard was a great move? Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, Jay doesn't handle himself like a man. And he knows he did wrong. He knew it. He had nothing to say on the phone. It just was creepy. And this long history of stealing everything from the show. His writers or whoever, him. I mean, it's just such a rip. I could give you 50,000 examples of shit they do every week that is our show. Including, just even... forget it. I'm not going to get into it. I got into it enough. I fucking hate getting sucked into that argument.
I know. That's why I was like, wow, I can't believe all this time later, there's still these conversations going on.
I forget what started. I don't know, but Ralph called in with this definite opinion that he thought it was mostly John's fault.
Well, no, it was not. And I don't hold it against John, and I'm not angry with John, even though John thinks maybe I am. I'm not. I saw him at Ross Zapin's wedding, and I was very, very friendly and, And then, everyone, John was like, well, Howard used to have me out to his house. John lives in L.A.
Yeah, how you going to have him to the...
He doesn't work on our show anymore. The last time he came to New York, in fact, Beth is very close with John's wife. Yeah. They still are. They maintain a phone friendship all the time. And they were coming to New York, and Beth invited her and John over, and they couldn't make it. Mm-hmm. I had no problem with John. This whole idea that I've got a problem with John is horseshit. I have no problem. I don't care. I'm happy for the guy. You can go sit there and do Ross the intern bits. You know, you two can dress up as Sonny and Cher. I don't care. It's fine.
Done. It's over. Everybody can drop it now.
I mean, John wasn't that big a part of my life. He wasn't the be-all and end-all of the show. He was a nice guy to have here. He worked hard. He made a lot of contribution. And he's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. But this has nothing to do with John. I'm not sitting there. To be angry with John would be to give John too much credit. I'm upset with Jay Leno in that he can't fucking handle himself like a goddamn human being.
Well, this is a man who hid in a closet to get the job in the first place.
Well, yeah, and I've said that to him. I said, Jay, you hid in a closet to get your job. I mean, what kind of fucking man are you? I mean, what really? Are you a man? You're not even a man. You're a woman. You're not even a woman. I shouldn't insult women like that.
You're a mouse.
You're a mouse. He's a mouse. He really is a skeevy mouse. And it's a shame. You know, and he has a history of doing this with people. His manager, Helen Kushnick, God rest her soul. Talk about taking a woman and, you know.
Throwing her out.
Yeah, I mean, she did everything for him. Listen, I don't want to get into it. But Jay's not my hero. You know, and then and even in this interview that he did, Jay Leno.
What interview?
You know, I've played this interview that he did before. What page is the Jay Leno interview on? I mean, you can hear in his voice that he's up to something. Guys, what page is the Jay Leno interview on?
Hold on one second.
Uh-oh. Gary's back. It's not running smoothly.
Ran a lot smoother yesterday. I really did.
Just calm down. I'm a little behind. I don't know what the Jay Leno interview is, so I have to ask.
Just ask Sal and Richard. They seem to know.
Yeah,
why don't we go right to Sal and Richard? They know. There's Richard with my answer.
Gary preview page 2 in gray.
It's on the Gary Garver page.
Thank you. See, I told you. No, not that interview.
No, I know what he's talking about. He wants, you know, we're talking.
Nah, forget it. It's over now.
Other people have been interviewed like this as well on the show. Like,
right, thank you.
Just tell me what it is. I don't know what it is.
Well, that kills the fucking bit.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I know which one. I got it.
Oh, there you go. You're reading my mind.
Richard didn't know it either, for the record.
I don't. But I really want Gary to go back to Florida.
Well, it's totally. Richard doesn't. I know what you want. Richard doesn't understand what you want. Give me a second.
Richard, the Jay Leno things you cut up with from his book.
The book.
He says some outrageous thing.
I'm not playing it now. It's too late.
It really is.
The joke is blown.
Yesterday we were all in sync.
Mavis, my wife, has fucked hundreds of filthy black guys.
That bit. How do you have that, Freddie?
I went to it. I thought it was going to be on one thing. I just took a shot. It's over on another computer. It says Jay Leno fake drops.
Yeah. All right. Forget it. It doesn't matter now. It's the moment's over.
When I was a boy, a gang of 7 kids fucked my dad and my wife, Mavis.
All right. Thank you.
Howard.
What?
If you go to Gary preview page 1.
No, it's over.
No, we're on to something different. You're right. It is over. In orange, towards the bottom right-hand corner, that's Artie's voicemail to me yesterday.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Gar, it's Artie. How you doing, man? 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. Listen, no need to call me back. I'm just calling to tell you, you know, obviously Sal was goofing on you with saying that the show's running smoother without you, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, I can't speak for Sal. I think he's totally joking. I made a couple of very throwaway comments, completely kidding around on the wrap-up show as well, going along with the joke, because it was just a total joke to me. And then Howard said he spoke to you and you seemed kind of bummed. And you know what, dude, I know the feeling of being away from the show and stuff is said that bums you out. I thought it was a total joke. It really made me feel bad. I don't know what you're going through, but today I tried to be as supportive as possible because, you know, hey, look, man.
Yeah, Artie stopped eating yesterday through the show because he was so upset.
Not that supportive.
He didn't have a cupcake.
I don't know if Howard was exaggerating, but he said you were upset, and that makes me feel bad. You know, for the record, you know, it ain't